Hi everyone, my name is Andrea Graham from the theleafheartpath. Today's pick-a-card reading is messages about your career or a career path that may be a good match for your skills and energy. Each one of these piles messages are going to be a little bit different. Some show a little bit of history or storyline about getting from one place to another. Others speak specifically about traits that you may hold and matching occupations that may suit those traits. Others give a general shape about what will bring you satisfaction. But the career paths might be quite open. It just depends on the energies that are coming through. So hopefully the advice, guidance, and messages that are coming through today will confirm ideas or inclinations that you might have about career. They may provide you with a bit of a confidence boost or some possible ideas or paths, some different ways that you could go. Your reading may also shed some light on your innate traits that would be beneficial on a specific career path, even if you don't see yourself as holding these traits or you see yourself in that trajectory. You may be pleasantly surprised by what is shared. Of course, you can always check another pile or another reading if nothing is jumping out to you energetically. But sometimes the cards and messages reveal things in us that we aren't noticing about ourselves yet. Finally, there are so many career options out there. I decided to go with 5 piles. It barely scratches the surface. I know so many people out there, because this is a general reading, this is probably not going to suit you. These piles are what my guides and the universe went with. So if you're not finding your message here, then hopefully it'll be here the next time that we do a career reading. And finally, again, there may be traits and trajectories given, but your specific occupation, which matches these, is not mentioned. And that's okay if that specifically didn't come through. If the energies match, you can still claim it. You can always list what that is in the comment box below the video in case there are other people who are interested in that same thing. They're watching, they're reading, and they may find that bit of resonance and help in your shared words. So if you would take a moment and center yourself, take a deep breath and scan the 5 piles that we have here. I'm throwing this around right now. Each pile has a crystal for those of you who like to pick that way. And because there were so many piles, I ended up going with the Magician card from each tarot deck. Instead of sharing tarot decks this time, as we're doing the reading, I just stuck with one with some oracle cards. And so you can look at the Magician card and the gemstone that is with it and make your decision that way. So let's take a look at our first pile. We have the Carnelian, or a Carnelian. And this is the Magician card from the Rust Belt Arcana, which is such a cool deck. If you haven't seen that before, I'm really excited to share this with you today. All right, group 2, traditional Rider-Waites. And we have this beautiful chunky Malachite here. I love those dark colors on the back. Such a good green. And pile 3. This is the Light Seer's Tarot. And you have this really fun tiger's eye as your stone. Pile 4. The Ostara Tarot, the Magician here, and your Sunstone. And finally, Guardian of the Night Tarot with a fun little piece of Selenite. Okay. Those are our 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can pause the video should you need a little more time to select your pile. Timestamps and chapters are listed in the box below or on the video bar. I'll see you in your video. Bye-bye. Hi, pile 1. If you picked the Rust Belt Arcana and the Carnelian, then this is your reading. Let's take a look at your cards. So first we have the 10 of Cups. Very nice. In conjunction with the Fool. I hope you can see that clearly. It's a beautiful card. We have Strength. Nice, 2 major Arcana cards here. Right away, pile 1. And the King of Wands. Or not King, excuse me, that's the Knight of Wands. We have the Two of Cups in conjunction with the Three of Cups. And yes, these are shuffled. When I shuffle, I use my clairsentience to shuffle. So it means I kind of shuffle and I stop when I feel an intuitive hit in my solar plexus. It's kind of this tingling and uplifting energy. And then if I feel kind of an elevator drop type of energy, I know that's not where we want to go. So let's talk about zodiac signs a little bit for people who resonate with that. So keep in mind, even if you aren't one of these signs that pops up, your energy may still resonate with them. So keep an open mind where that's concerned. It's not definitely a closed door if you're not in here. So we definitely have a lot of cups showing up right here. We've got the 2, the 3, and the 10. So that's water signs. So that's Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Very emotive, ready to jump into what lies beneath the surface. Strength is Leo. The Knight of Wands or Wand energy is fire energy. So that's our Aries, our Leo, and our Sag folks. These are friends who are ready for action. You're fiery, you're passionate, you're outspoken. And then we've got, if you look at it all together, we've got some real movers and shakers in this group. So I think these are people who are always on the inner quest, and they're always seeking for what is next. All right, so let's take a look at our first set of cards over here. We'll begin with the 10 of Cups. This is goldenrod that we have here. And this is happiness, joy, and balance. So the goldenrod here emerges at the end of summer. It's a bit of a hint that this is the end of a cycle, as is with any 10 that you're getting here. But this especially, it's just that little tinge, and we're looking back over, sunny summer days and going, gosh, where did the summer go? How did it slip by us? Winter's coming. So this is beginnings and endings I'm feeling here, particularly with the Fool coming up, right, chasing on the heels of that. So the Fool is the start of our journey, marked with a 0 here in our major arcana. And this card features a bear cub, a black bear cub, looking for his place in the world. You can see these little footprints right here. And so when we look at these two cards together, there is this theme of beginnings and endings, seasons, cycles, searching and planning for the next phase. This matches the fiery zodiac signs, as we talked about up above. People on the go, people who are ready to move. So this can indicate that you are someone who recently walked away from a career and you're starting something new. This also may indicate that you're happiest in careers where you can start a project and then you can finish it easily, kind of moving on to the next one, moving from one to the next. You might complete work in cycles. One ends, another begins. And these projects are likely unrelated to one another, but they still are within your skill set. So for example, that could be like a journalist or writer, somebody who works on one topic or story and then they move to another, and that may be completely different. Both are to do with writing, but perhaps one story is rooted in science and the other might be rooted in politics, for example. Okay, let's go a little further, because it's not just about that. That is just one small example. To deepen our understanding here, we've got strength. And I absolutely love how this card is done. And we also have the Knight of Wands, then, to clarify that. So let's talk about these a little bit here. This has got to be one of my favorite decks. If you're a tarot person and you love the natural world, you want to get yourself a copy of the Rust Belt Arcana and the deck and the book. There's a book of essays that accompanies the major arcana here, and they're absolutely beautiful. It's about the natural history of the Midwest, specifically Rust Belt areas like Ohio and Northwest Pennsylvania, and surrounding areas. So the essay on strength focuses in on the journey of the monarch butterfly in particular, as it makes its migration southward to Mexico. The delicate wings of this insect will travel, I learned, over 2,000 miles from Canada over Lake Erie to get to their overwintering sites. Now, it's not obviously just Lake Erie, but that's part of it. One of my favorite phrases from this essay about this journey was the capacity to persist, which I think is always going to now change the way I think of the strength card, no matter what deck I'm pulling it from. I love that capacity to persist. And I'm going to say this, quote this right out of the guidebook. While so much human energy is used to reshape the world, strength encourages us to master ourselves. So that's another one that's just really popping out to me. So this, if you're watching this, those phrases say a lot about your strength of character. Group 1, you're the type of person who has this quality of energy, of self-mastery, and the capacity to persist without burning out, as we sometimes see with that wand or that fire energy. And really, the Knight of Wands here would be you. Not Aldo Leopold, but you also. Not quite a leader yet in terms of like court cards. You're not a queen, you're not a king, but you're moving in that direction should you wish it. This is you searching, hunting, moving forward, like we have here, and you're scouting, you're looking for what's next, just like he's looking off over in this direction. So this is you in pursuit of your next goal. Your ambition shines through in this tenacity. There is caution here. Don't let your wings get too tattered along the way. Stay focused, stay grounded, however you do that. Particularly if you're more on the empathic side and you're drawing this and you're in this group, because we do have a lot of that cup energy, that emotional energy here. You might be in the process of searching for something that suits you right now just right. You might be in the middle of something and you are drawing on your inner fire to finish that task at hand, and you may be moving on to the next cycle, as we talked about over here, is depicted with the Fool and then the Ten of Cups. So to better understand the types of work that you might be drawn to, you who have this very strong, fiery sense of strength and inner motivation, we want to look over at the 2 and the 3 of Cups here. Cute, cute, cute. So these cards together just are about celebration, someone who's motivated by emotion and desires. So we've got Trillium here on our 3 depicted. And if we have this here, Trillium's that spring flower. So this is you seeing the path through the winter. And you're the kind of person that is able to kind of keep your eye out for the first signs of spring. So I'm almost again seeing that fool's journey, working our way through the seasons here. Yeah, just this other nod to cycles. You've got this tenacity and inner strength. So you may be somebody who needs a career or a career path that allows or permits for creativity, self-mastery, growth, really a pollination that births projects from seed and idea into a physical reality. So you may want an emotional connection with a cause or a camaraderie where you wander and work. You being supported on this journey may be more important to you than how successful the company is, the job title is, the organization is in public eye, or even earning approval of some higher ups. You may be a little bit of a rebel, I'm guessing, or a trailblazer. Boop, boop. And so you probably, if you're going to seek a spot where you kind of have a home base, you probably want to find a place where people appear happy. The culture of the workspace would be important to somebody like you, especially if you're in that space and not traveling. So advice coming through here for you is to trust your gut. If you can talk to other employees to get a feel for the place, do so before committing. Freedom, flexibility, creativity, these are all things that are important to you. A place where you're pinned down is not going to suit you. That's just not going to do. A place where you feel unsupported is also not in your best interest. So just don't go there. You want to bloom where you're planted, or at least scatter your happy seeds behind you as you wander, as this job may involve some traveling, I'm guessing, for some of you, probably at least half of you. This will not happen if the workplace and the culture is rooted in fear. Fear is not going to allow for anything to bloom. You have reserves of inner strength here and a frequency that will push you through ruling projects and looming deadlines. But you do still need to have that positivity, or just a positive workspace. So possible job or career types, group one, you might be best, honestly, as someone who's self-employed. You might hold space in a certain career that encourages that growth, that self-exploration. You guys are the seed bearers, the idea makers, someone who can roam and spread those thoughts with others. You may hold down a variety of jobs. You may document travel as a writer or a vlogger. You may seek a career in nature, not so much like a park ranger. I mean, maybe a park ranger, but more like somebody who sheds light on what's going on in a particular park or wild area. We're going to go check out what's going on here, and then we're going to go check out what's going on over here, and maybe even through video or media. You may be someone who is happy with periods of solitude or isolation, but just as happy to return back to home base, and to share those ideas that they've gathered on the road. So you may swap out of careers often, as we talked about cycles over here, or allow your career to shift and evolve and take on new forms as you learn more about yourself. One steady Eddie 9 to 5 job for 35 years, just that's not you. Maybe it was you to start and you're realizing now that it is not you any longer. Emotions and freedom, I think, are really, really important to this group. Now, I pulled a few extra cards for insight as well. And so we've got some fun things happening here. Here we have the waltzing mouse. This one's meant to be a little cheeky. It's a little funny. We also have the panther. And we've got Herkimer Diamond. Dreams. I like that because this feels like a creative kind of a group. So with the waltzing mouse, I'm getting more of that, again, that fiery creative streak, a performative energy. This group may do well as a dancer, part of a dance troupe, being on stage, performing as an artist, a musician, a writer, a poet, a muse, an entertainer on a cruise ship. You might be a professional bard or storyteller. You might be a photographer, specifically a wildlife photographer. And again, the panther has an energy of fierceness, a wildfire. Panther energy embodies an ease with moving on, moving forward, letting go with things that no longer serve you. So group one, you may be a little ADD, a little attention deficit. You might be unhappy being caged in. Yeah, as our monarch's appearance implies as well, because these folks migrate. You would not flourish, nor would you thrive in a cage. You are on the go, like we saw in the Fool card, the Knight of Wands, the Strength card. And again, even here I learned about trillium seeds. They spread actually via the ants carrying them off. So there will always be movement for you, I think, and pacing if you're caged in, or standing still. Too much stillness for you is going to leak energy, I believe, out of you. And if your home base is in the city, it's likely you might recharge in nature. So going back to Panther here, Panther brings an extra energy of wildness and fire. You may actually have a job as an advocate or an activist for those in need of extra support, a journalist. You may be a light worker, quite honestly. You have these reserves of inner strength, as we talked about, and you could probably manifest any type of job that would suit you, quite honestly. And the Herkimer Diamond reminds you that you are a visionary. Yeah, see dreams. Follow your own unique path. I do think you're meant to be this rebel, this upstart, this gem group one. You're a little bit different than those around you. And this is what the world needs right now. Celebrate your uniqueness. And if you're in a job that is currently making you unhappy, no longer resonates with you, who you are, then consider this your sign from the universe that it is time to move on. Group 1, I'm going to end your reading here. If this resonated with you, please like and comment in the box below about what drew you in. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you're alerted of when new videos are released. And thank you for watching Group 1. I look forward to collaborating with you again soon. Bye-bye. Hi, Pile 2. If you picked the Rider-Waite Tarot and the Malachite, then this is your reading. Let's take a look at your cards. Okay, so first we have the Five of Wands in conjunction with the Seven of Cups. Next, the Four of Cups. With the Sun, Major Arcana there, Group 2, and another Major Arcana card, Strength. In conjunction with the Five of Swords. Okay, let's see here. So let's talk about zodiac or astrological signs here. A lot of people like those. Keep in mind that even if your sign's not represented, you still may be in here. Don't close the door entirely, because you might actually just resonate with the energy in here. You might be somebody who is a total Capricorn, for example, and you might not see yourself in here. But you might resonate with the energy of the piles. So we, first of all, have got a lot of cups happening here with these two cards. So cups are water. That's going to be Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So water signs are very emotive. They're ready to jump into what lies beneath the surface, get into the deep stuff. Leo is represented by strength. And the Wands energy here, that's going to be our fire signs. So that's Aries, Leo, and Sag. Those folks are ready for action, fiery, passionate, and outspoken. And then also we've got sword energy, which is correlated with air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, our thinkers, our doers, our communicators. Just looking at this right away, there's a lot of high flying yet deep energy happening in this spread. This is a very dynamic group that you are a part of, Group 2. And the spread is not only dynamic, but it's a little visually overwhelming. Just when these popped out right away, I was going, oh my gosh, that's a lot to look at. We've got this energy of struggle kind of popping up right away here. Whenever I see this, I do think of infighting, infrastructure issues, people fighting to get an idea maybe off the ground. So just not a solid foundation set into place. And so when we lack that solid foundation, what's going to happen? It's going to impact everybody at every other level of an organization, since we're talking about career. And if we add that Seven of Cups into the mix here, this just feels like way too many cooks in the kitchen here, Group 2. There are choices, there are options, there is just so much stuff going on here. It's really, really distracting, which is related, again, that same kind of feeling with the Five of Wands that we just talked about. So Group 2, if you picked this pile, you may be someone who is actually fairly comfortable in chaos. You may be gifted and skilled at being able to take sort of a bird's eye view to addressing problems, and you can solve them very readily, which is amazing. You may do well in a career where you're asked to be a troubleshooter, like of some kind, like IT or customer service, a mediator. You may do well working with personalities that other people might find abrasive or tricky to work with. You might be the person that everybody calls into, even if it's not your job. They might just say, oh, this person is really, really good at, working with others, at solving disputes. So let's go find them and have them, help us out with this. You might be a lawyer, you might be a counselor, you might be an advocate. And then the Seven of Cups here with all the glitter and the glitz and the shiny stuff happening here makes me think of like high-end clientele, people that are fussy and very particular about what they want. They're used to the finer things. So high-end folks, and maybe you're a personal shopper or a personal assistant to someone who's really high up, or famous even. You also might be a secretary, juggling a lot of different things, an office assistant, a personal assistant, or somebody who's just a fixer of some kind, a tinker. No matter the industry, I think that you have a reputation where others come to you for advice. And those of you who have a creative streak may do well, actually, I'm seeing like window dressing in department stores. You definitely have to have an eye to make that beautiful. Some of you might be a person who upcycles found elements, into beautiful works of art. Like literally you might be dumpster diving and finding things and voila, look what we have here. I think you're someone who sees potential in absolutely everything, which is why we have so much stuff going on here. A tinker, a carpenter, a fixer. There's a creative side to you and a side that understands other people, I think. I can understand every single facet of what's happening here and what's going on in this situation, which makes you highly sought after for your particular skill set in an industry that you enjoy. Yeah. So let's go a little deeper with our Four of Cups. So this is about people not seeing what's around them. I'm just kind of focused on what's here, and I'm not even noticing that this happy little cloud barista is coming over to give me the thing that I actually want here. And it always reminds me, there's a meme, and I'll see if I can insert it, where this little cloud is just offering the cup here. The person's thinking like, no, I told you non-fat, no foam. So I don't think that's your energy though. Again, this is the energy of those clients that we were kind of talking about before. You're going to be excellent in helping people kind of smooth out their rough edges. Like you're more like the cloud right here. You help them to get from not seeing or not appreciating what's around them to the energy of the sun, which is total, or we're naked, total transparency here. Just happiness and joy, seeds planted for a beautiful future. You might be a project manager perhaps, or you oversee projects for high-end clients. So I could see actually even wealth management, working with portfolios. I have no idea what I'm talking about with money, but it's an idea that is trying to like kind of come out right now and be heard. So maybe even some kind of public servant where you're just kind of, you have to do what your job expects you to do and what other people are expecting you to do. And this may also point to a realm of counseling possibly, or therapy. With a particular set of clients. I keep getting that. So I think you have the energy to handle this, and not necessarily everybody would. There's just something about you where you can transmute things in a way that things just don't bother you. Maybe you have a curiosity about you, I think, where that overrides any kind of negativity that you might pick up or other people might pick up from having to work with challenging situations. You're just, I'm through it. I'm sunshine up here. I don't get the clouds. Yeah, and this is particularly noticeable. We've got the Strength card here. To me, this is one of your traits that makes you such a prize to other people. And Strength actually popped up in our the first reading. So you may have mastery over yourself and your emotions. You work well in high-stress situations. And this is particularly true with the Five of Swords that we have here as well. You know how to manage like your trickier clients, and you know when someone has overstepped their boundaries, and then you can cut your losses and walk away. You can just say enough is enough. I think you though are the epitome of grace as you're doing this. You are grace under fire. You never let anybody see you sweat. I'm like catching his gaze, and it's drawing me over here, back here to the Five of Wands. I'm suddenly starting to see this even as like possibly construction or architecture in larger firms for big clients. That's another possibility. You may do well in home remodeling. Back to this again, interior design. I mean, honestly, probably many different types of design. And then back to our little shinies here. Metalsmithing, jewelry creation, banking, being a wedding planner. And I think just even with like all the feelings happening here, strong opinions, you know the bottom line of what like your clients want, and you can get to the heart of the matter very, very easily. Yeah, floral design, catering, some aspect of wedding planning possibly. You might be the manager or owner of a business where you have to appease clients. And you may be involved in like a variety of startups possibly if you have some money yourself. So group one, that's kind of what I'm getting from this here. I want to add in a little extra layer here with some oracle cards. I love this Edward Gorey deck. This one's a little cheeky. So, all right, this is the Écorché. That might look a little freaky. I like his top hat though. And we also have the owl. And sorry if you disturbed my dog bark. He's just excited to meet you. And then we have Boji stones, balance. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so let's look at Mr. Écorché. This again, look at the top hat and the way he's standing. It's bringing me back to this idea of design. And maybe it's clothing. We didn't talk about that one. Personal stylist, an esthetician, maybe even a plastic surgeon, as we're looking like, you know, we can see anatomy and muscles here. Maybe you're a personal trainer. You help whip people into shape. I feel like you're not just interested in what lies beneath the skin. I think you truly have a vision for how to share what your client's heart space is or what's in it. And you know how to make that shine outward to everybody so everybody can see that. You can make those qualities in a person shine from the inside to the outer world. Yeah, with the owl here, you may have some clairvoyant abilities or just a very, very good visual outlook. You can see a problem again and a solution from kind of like a bird's eye view from up above. So this may also be the realm of therapists or healers because you can again see to the heart of the matter. You see what's important. You can see and hear what is not being said. This kind of frenetic energy though may be a bit much for a lot of empaths and healers. So if you're overwhelmed but you love what you do, you may need to spend quite a bit of your time managing your energy in order to, you know, keep your balance, is what's mentioned over here. You do have the strength to do it, but yeah, you may spend a good portion of your day helping your clients also find the balance that they seek. So I do feel if you pick this pile, group number 2, you've got the strength and capacity to thrive in higher stress situations, as we saw here. Yeah. You can see into the heart of a matter. You can make decisions rapidly. You're patient. You may have excellent design tastes. Other possible jobs that are just kind of like popping in: concierge, booking agent, even a planner, like an event planner, a stylist. Yeah, I'm sure there are many, many more. And if you have others, if you pop them into the comment box below. So group 2, this was really interesting. I'm curious to see what you have to say about it. I'm going to end your reading here. And if this resonated with you, please like and comment in the box below about what drew you in. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you're alerted of when new videos are released. And thank you for watching group 2. I look forward to collaborating with you again soon. Bye-bye. Hi, pile 3. If you picked the Lightseers Tarot and the Tiger's Eye, then this is your reading. Let's take a look at your cards. Beautiful. So first we have the 10 of Cups, and actually pile 1, I believe, also started with the 10 of Cups. So if you were drawn to that pile, you might want to take a peek. We have this in conjunction with The Empress. Wow. Okay, so major arcana there. Very, very positive. That's lovely energy. We have the Two of Cups with King of Swords. My goodness. I want this to be my pile. Queen of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. In conjunction with the Hierophant. Oh my goodness. Group 3. Okay. Before we get into card meanings and what's possibly going on here, let's talk about astrological signs, zodiac signs, for people that resonate with that. Just remember that when we're talking about these things, if you do not see yourself in here at all represented, that's okay. You may still resonate with the energy that is coming through in the reading. So don't close the door on it. Remain open about it. So we've got cups here. 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups right there. That's water. And our water sign friends are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Again, these are very emotive signs, people who are ready to jump into what lies beneath the surface. Our swords here are correlated with air signs. Our air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And air signs are thinkers, are doers, communicators. And then we also, of course, have Pentacles here, which are earth signs, and our earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This is slower moving energy. It's practical, it's steady, and very, very abundant. The Hierophant is actually also associated with Taurus, I believe. So we've kind of got double things going on here. So this group, as I'm looking over, it just has this beautiful kind of emotive and down-to-earth quality to it. Like tight community roots. Just being very, very, I think, others-oriented. It's a very, very lovely energy to be in. So if that sounds right, then stick around. All right, so the 10 of Cups here is truly one of the loveliest cards in tarot, I think. It is the end of the rainbow, so to speak here. It's about community and it's about love. Soulmates, harmony, relationships, family. It's that happy place that we strive to get to with emotional fulfillment. It's wholeness, it's divine connections, it's about the heart opening up and expanding. And then if we add in our Empress here, there's definitely some overlap in themes. Like we're talking about the love, the nurturing, family here. Relationships. With her, we've got unification with like the body, the mind, and the spirit. We've got that moon up there for intuition. Yeah, the Empress has to do kind of like with marked or prolific creativity, sensuality, motherhood, divine feminine energy, empathy, and again, like an abundance. Just lovely, lovely, lovely. So those of you who picked this group, wow. So you have a lot going on here. I mean, first of all, I see you as this kind of dream weaver. You're someone who can help others craft dreams into reality, into happiness. You help make things happen for other people. You may ground your community in unity. You bring people and families together, create opportunities through healing, through nurturing, which can look like a lot of different things. So I don't know. Even though I'm not seeing any fire energy necessarily in here, it's just the abundance that's coming through is just reminding me of planting and harvesting things. So like food is medicine, teaching families about farming or growing their own food. If you're in like a more urban area, urban gardening, teaching others about earth-friendly habits, and doing all these things with a smile, because I do feel it brings you great joy to help others and to help the planet as well. This could be the energy of somebody who owns a small earth-friendly business. And I think really because the Empress is major arcana here, this is part of who you are in this incarnation. This is, you know, meant to be. This is truly meant to be here. And the Two of Cups over here, this is another lovely card that we have here. This is about soulmates or romantic partners, partnership, friendships, connected hearts, kindred spirits, passion, romance, joyful connection, cooperation, union, marriage, duality, love, consciousness. I'm just rattling off things that they have here. This is very much in the same vein as really the first draw that's happening over here. Just tight-knit connection. I mean, we can see the rainbows kind of coming off here surrounding these hands that are unified. And then we do have a little bit of a contrast here with the King of Swords energy, which is a nice like way to temper things a little bit here. This is about intellect and logic, rules and law, just a clarity. See, we're up here in the air. Everything's clear around him in the environment. Just strong communication and leadership. This is someone who uses their left brain, relies on truth and proof, blending mental and spiritual pursuits, bravery, and courage. So this is diplomacy, it's clarity, and it makes for a very, very well-rounded person overall. So that's you. Nice job. So someone with these qualities would do well in leadership or guidance roles to bring that unity to other people. So a counselor, an advocate, a minister, a rector, even a spiritual leader. I know we haven't touched on that quite yet, but that's what we're getting from over here. And you might not even actually have a professional title, but I feel like you've earned respect and leadership in a community all on your own. Just by being you, you've encouraged cooperation and not competition. You don't shy away from hard truths, but I think you have a way of speaking and leading so that these truths are a little more easy for others to digest. So you are an educator, a healer, a dream weaver, a therapist, head of an organization that leads families, maybe a mental health expert, a visionary. There's just so many rainbows. Public speaker, maybe a professional storyteller. I think I brought that up in the first group too, who also had that 10 of Cups energy at the beginning. The Queen of Pentacles over here, like this is a healer, someone who's self-made, working parent, material wealth and abundance, strength in family and community. Again, the kindness, the nurturing heart, the groundedness, someone who's down to earth and who's generous at the same time. So it is very, I feel like, similar energy going on here. Yes. And then if we take that in conjunction with our Hierophant as well, again, more earth energy happening. Tradition, lessons, a spiritual leader or a guide, enlightenment, awakening. This is more about formal traditions or formal education, so that might even mean adding in a way to improve the self, like you might be taking new education or training, perhaps, or even like a certification for something. New paradigms, seeking ways to improve the self and the community at large, social worker, psychologist, teachers. Energy of somebody who is just comfortable in their own community. You are part of this. You are part of what's going on. You don't shy away. No need to wander anywhere else. Group 1 was more of the wandering energy. You are someone who's probably going to stick closer to home. The magic is here in the roots. Yoga teacher, meditation teacher, someone who instructs others in breath work. I feel there are so many different things that this could apply to. Group 3. So you might actually be somebody also... just was like the emotive side, the community side. Thinking about healers, you could be somebody who does hair. I'm looking at her doing her hair over here. You might be a stylist or an exceptional listener. And many of those community members are healers themselves. Like you may own or operate a beauty shop, a barber shop. You could be head of nursing. And I do feel no matter what you're doing, like you are a light worker. No matter what's going on, there's just so much light. There's so much rainbow. There's so much color here. You are somebody who's lifting the consciousness of the block, the neighborhood, the planet. Yeah. You are seen and recognized for who you are and what you do. People just see it in you. You radiate confidence. You radiate a clarity. Contentedness. You are a people magnet. Okay. And so that's what I'm getting from this portion. I did want to add in another layer with some oracle cards. And so with our Edward Gorey here, this is a sharp contrast. Oh, yes. Okay, the child. All right. And we also have, here's an animal spirit guide, a tarantula, and opal, joy. Nice, nice. Okay. So let's start with the energy here, the child. This takes on a whole nother layer of community here to me. This is you being invested in the future. So this can take on the idea of like education, teacher, educational leadership, daycare worker, just such a people person group. The energy of someone who truly cares about their community. They're holding a toy. You might even own a toy store, or a store that's has something to do with children. Yeah, and I'm certain if you have not already settled into a community of like-minded individuals, you will find one very soon. Just because the energy that you're putting out here is so, so strong. Now, with tarantula, I always think of spiders as planners. They're weaving their webs for their next meals. They're calm, they're patient. With a tarantula, this implies that you might be at a crossroads, ready to claim your life's purpose, kind of leveling up. We've got the stairs here with the Hierophant. So you are prioritizing life's deeper purpose. This is the call to follow your gut. Step out, be seen, shine your light. If you haven't already made your move, the universe is beckoning you to begin. The world is ready for you. So step on out. Now I'm thinking of a spider dancing. Like, look at me. And with the opal, we've got joy. So this is just connection and flow and dance and play. This is you running, jumping, lighting up all the colors. We had so many rainbows over here too. It's reflected in this. Everything is blending together into this beautiful stone. Good times, bad times, the in-between times. This is the banana split or the Neapolitan ice cream. It's the rainbow on the 10 of cups that we have over here. All the flavors, all the colors. You are somebody who embraces it all, group 3. You are very others-oriented, community-oriented. You want to bring others together. And with your light, that is absolutely your natural way. You are definitely open people, open folks, ready to help others, oozing with kindness. Your natural way of being makes you such a bright light for other people. And for other possible jobs and career paths. You would be very flexible and probably have a fairly specific niche, although that could change with various classes, lessons, or certification, as we talked about with the Hierophant here. You definitely stand out in a crowd, but you're able to see the true value in all other people. You're part of the whole, and you see everyone as your equal. You have a way of bringing people together, and you can problem solve. And then going back to the spider here, I do see you as a connector. You're this bright light that it basically surrounds you, and it links you to other people. Like we're talking about that spider's web. So you make connections, you make introductions, and I think people are better for knowing you for it, group 3. I definitely want to be your friend. Wow. So group 3, I am going to end your reading here. If this resonated with you, please like and comment in the box below about what drew you in. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you're alerted of when new videos are released. Thank you for watching group 3. I look forward to collaborating with you again soon. Bye-bye. Hi, pile 4. If you picked the Ostara Tarot and the Sunstone, then this is your group. Let's take a look at your cards. All right, we have the 7 of Swords. In conjunction with the Tower, Major Arcana. Okay. The World, Major Arcana. Clarified by the 8 of Wands Three of Cups. Clarified by the King of Cups. Interesting. Okay. So before we get into our groups here, pile 4, let's talk about our astrological signs that are represented here. Keep in mind, if your astrological sign isn't called, that doesn't mean that you're not resonating with the energy that's here. So we do have Cups energy here, which is going to be our water signs. That's Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. These are emotive folks, people that are ready to jump into what lies beneath the surface. We also have Swords over here. Swords are correlated with air signs, so that's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Yes. These are our thinkers, our doers, and our communicators. And then Wands being our fire signs. That's going to be Aries, Leo, Sag. These are people who are swift, creative, and opinionated. And technically, really, the World card covers all the signs. But this card here, I think, has less to do with your energy and more to do with your impact and the footprint that you leave behind. And we'll get more into that shortly. Yeah. I feel like this group, you have a very big footprint. You are the movers, the shakers, the leaders, and the people who are unafraid, I think, about getting their hands dirty in the work. And I don't mean in the sense that you're doing bad things. Sometimes that's what this implies, but that's not how I'm reading this at all. I mean it in the instance, in the sense that you are doing it all. You see other people as equals, and you are in the trenches doing the work. Even if those other folks elevate you a little bit, you're still able to see everybody as kind of equal. Even if they try to put you on a pedestal, you don't necessarily like that. So let's take a look at these first two cards here, the Seven of Swords and the Tower. Looks like he's looking back at what's happening here. Right away, this looks like, to me, with the tents behind him, that's disaster preparedness. You're somebody, I think, who has a talent and a capacity to make tough decisions in a time of crisis, which would be what's represented over here. Kind of looking back over, okay, what do we need? What do we have to do? What do we take? What do we leave behind? This is the realm of the left brain logic, kind of overriding fears. Or this could be years of practice in these kinds of situations. So maybe the left brain's not even doing that. It's just that you've got lots of practice being in these kinds of situations, which would be unusual for many folks. But this would be people like firemen, police, EMS, first responders. With some folks, that part of the brain, I think, just seems to shut off, and they know exactly what to do to stay calm and make their way through a nerve-wracking situation. And that doesn't mean that your left hemisphere is totally dominating all the time. I can tell you're very right-brained as well. You're very others-oriented. Yeah. Some might call you a humanitarian or an advocate, I think. And I see these tents back here set up to help people who've been displaced by natural disaster, perhaps a war, fire, as we're seeing over here. Doctors, nurses, frontline workers. And it may not even be on this big of a scale. This could be you volunteering at a shelter, maybe even running a warming station, in winter months, checking in on people who need warm and dry socks, coats, food, etc. And just because of the raccoon being clever, a clever animal, and the swords are equated with knowledge, decisions, logic. This is a sign, I think, that you're able to juggle many things at once. You have many irons in the fire, many balls in the air, and there's no sign of dropping anything anytime soon. Yeah, you're able to deal with a lot, I think, and manage it. And you're doing just fine. But I think you're part of a whole. And then we have the World card here. I mean, coming right on the heels of that, this is really interesting to me. Especially with the Eight of Wands here. This speaks to me of global events, you know, even global disasters. Big, this is what I'm seeing, like the big energy I'm talking about. Rapid communication here is what we typically think of with the Eight of Wands here. We've got a hawk, a bird's eye view, you know, of a situation. This is what we're seeing from up here. That was my bird flying. You may do well as a reporter, a journalist, perhaps, a paramedic. And again, this makes me feel like this is bigger than hometown. Like you're going places, you're moving up in your job, bigger positions, promotions, or this could literally indicate that you are traveling to where the story is. You are jet setting around the globe to a variety of different places. And this would include any type of job where you might be involved with the news, as this is communication here. Yeah, anything with media. It could even be you're a camera operator. I don't know enough about that world to list every possibility out there, but consider it part of it. If there's news and you're interested in traveling to be a part of it, consider this a sign for you. This is also the energy of anyone who needs to make comments or decisions regarding a large or global enterprise, a business, maybe even politics. You may have a spot in a government position in another country, working for an embassy, or maybe as a translator. This is big energy here. A feeling of being connected to many people, many places, any type of job related to communications, perhaps even working for wireless companies, data, computing, anything like that. Yeah, there's a lot of information coming from there. And then if we combine just all of the action that's happening here, we're getting all the emotive kind of softer stuff here, but not entirely soft. We know that those antlers are not soft things. This is kind of where the big heart energy is flowing into the logic and the fiery energy, and it helps balance everything out that we have going on over here. Yeah, the Three of Cups here is speaking about community to me and others in this instance. And I'm particularly drawn to, my thumb's covering that up, the faces here that we're seeing reflected in their cups, as though they're taking in the information that you are sharing back with that Eight of Wands. Green is a color of healing as well, and heart energy too. So your words may be a balm to others. You may know just what to say to other people to make them feel better. Your words are medicine. This may also put you in the category of a therapist or someone who specializes in PTSD, and the knowledge, knowing how to help people who have seen things or situations or who have gone through extreme times where there has been some kind of trauma. The King of Cups here is a leadership role, which pulls me back to that idea. You're meant to go straight to the top. With such a large global scale, you may be somebody who's in the public eye, or you may wind up there eventually. You may be a person who wants to make a difference in the government or political system, but you're comfortable doing that perhaps from within. Because this is kind of, you are being seen, you're illuminated here. There's no getting away from that. Even, the finger in the water here, like you're even being reflected back to other people. Yeah, almost like, look, you're being broadcast. You're somebody who can hold steady under pressure. Got all this weighing down on you. You're able to provide comfort. You're level-headed. You would do well under high-stress situations. So if there's some kind of crisis, I think you would know exactly what to do to help mobilize other people and to assist with whatever is going on. And I do want to show you this. This was the first pile I was nudged to look at the back of the deck. And so we have the Chariot here, which is another major Arcana card. So let's see here. We've got 1, 2, 3. And this one's associated with the water sign of Cancer. So we have more of that emotive quality to it. I don't feel this is something that you're walking away from, group 4. This is part of who you are because we have so much of the major Arcana going on. The Chariot speaks to your own forward momentum here. Holding the reins, mastering duality, using both parts of the brain. We talked about the brain earlier, to make your decisions. You are going places and you are going fast. And again, this is another nod to travel, as we mentioned here. I don't see you as somebody who is sitting still, group 4. Okay. So I'm going to lay that down there. And I do have some other cards. Actually, let's pull everybody in a little tighter here, just in case things get cut off. I have some oracle cards to sort of add another layer to things. So here, we're going to start with the word Gory. The Ancestor, interesting. No face. Bee. We're going to say that's a little honeybee. And Sunstone, Empowerment. Interesting. Okay. So the Ancestor card popping up here, again, is showing me leadership going back through time. So this could literally be a lineage thing, or you are the next generation. Notice again, no face. Could be anybody. Is it you? You may be here to shake things up a little bit, change how leadership or leadership roles are perceived or played out in your particular area. You're here to provide relief and aid to other people. And again, noticing the fur coat here, you may have some wealth that you accumulate. And for some of you, this can also be coming from ancestry and privilege as well. And so there might even be something where you need to break a little cycle. The bee is, again, for me, this is communication and working together as part of a team, part of a whole. Honeybees communicate through their complex dances to let other worker bees know where they need to fly to get the pollen that they're looking for. This speaks to me building up supplies and restructuring, giving assistance to others. Yeah, where it's needed. Managing a team where everyone has a job to do. I'm seeing military here as well. This is the first group where I'd be getting that. Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Air Force, National Guard. Even the Army Corps of Engineers needing to, help build things up after a time of crisis. Communication. Yeah, depending on where you're watching this from right now, obviously this is going to look a little bit different, but there's just this idea of restructuring, maybe even at the government level or the global level. And then we have our Sunstone. So this is, the stone of empowerment. Not a shocker that it would make an appearance for you, group 4, given what we've got going on here. Even, look, it even matches the color of their hair. This is not only about you being empowered, but you empowering the people, empowering others. You aren't filling big shoes. You are the one leaving the big footprints. So you might keep some Sunstone nearby to help boost this energy up as you're embarking on your journey, group 4. So, wow. Movers and shakers. Group 4, I'm going to end your reading here. If this resonated with you, please like and comment in the box below about what drew you in. I'm really interested in this one. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you are alerted of when new videos are released. Thank you for watching, group 4. I look forward to collaborating with you again soon. Bye. Hi, pile 5. If you picked the Guardian of the Night Tarot and the Selenite, then this is your reading. Let's take a look at your cards. First, we have the 8 of Wands. This is interesting. If you felt drawn to pile 4, you might want to check that one out because they also had the 8 of Wands. We have that in conjunction with King of Swords. All right, bird energy here. We have the 4 of Pentacles with the 9 of Pentacles. I'm dreaming about fishes. The Tower, which was also in pile 4. Interesting, as was this. So there may be some overlapping energies. You might want to check that out. Ooh, and another major Arcana card, the Wheel of Fortune. So there is a lot of big energy in this group as well as pile 4. But pile 4 felt a little more active. This is interesting. This is kind of mental. Before we get into that side of it, let's talk about astrological signs. Just a note, even if you are not these signs or you don't see your signs reflected in here, just keep in mind you might resonate with some of the energy that is presented by these particular signs. So let's see here. We've got swords, which are going to be correlated with air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Our thinkers, our doers, communicators. Wands here are fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sag, Swift, people who are creative, opinionated, and then of course Pentacles here, heavy in the middle. These are slower moving energies of the earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn are steady eddies, stable, pragmatic, reliable. And of all groups, I think this one is the most interesting to kind of piece together. And quite possibly this is the most unique group that we've had. Again, there is a touch of overlap with group 4, so if you're drawn to that pile as well, you may want to check that video out. And actually, I almost see this energy, as I'm seeing like scavenger birds here, as being cleanup after group 4. In some instances, not in all. This might be what comes after. And funny because, again, 5 is following 4. So let's take a look at our first duo here, the 8 of Wands. Swift communication, news, travel, and then the impact of news is actually more of what seems to be standing out here. The impact of news. When we learn about something, I'm drawn to the imagery of the hawk, perhaps going after, striking that snake. There's a flavor of an emotional hit with this particular group looking at the whole thing. Not that you're the ones hearing this news, but you're delivering it, or I think you're helping people deal with the aftermath of a personal crisis or a family crisis of some kind. If we examine this card with the King of Swords, we're adding on the layer of somebody who is good as a decision maker, and they've got clarity, they've got wisdom. There's mastery here. Integrity, they've got high standards. A good routine, I feel like, is important here. That's a big part of success for this person, for you guys. Having a good routine. There is just this ebb and flow that's coming through here for me. Just even with this, I'm being drawn to the shape of the snake here. This ebb and flow, just to the way things are, the way life is, and you're very comfortable with that. This is very highly specific, group 5, so not all of you may resonate with this, but the very first career that I am getting here is an undertaker or a funeral director, a mortician, or perhaps a hospice worker. That's what's popping out right away. There's this steady kind of comforting energy that's coming in with you, an understanding of life and the way that life flows. And even though we don't have a lot of cups energy here, I think that you have this natural groundedness to you that people can lean into you during tough times. You may also be a counselor of some kind, specializing in bereavement or perhaps in grief. Going back to this swiftness here with the 8 of Wands and then the sword that the King of Wands is leaning on. You may also be a doctor, like an ER doctor, a paramedic, a nurse, an aide, somebody who's a frontline worker, because I hear that phrase, cutting to heal. So there is this energy of doing some kind of healing here, but it's healing with the mind and it's healing for other people. It's not so much about heaviness for you. Although this to me would feel like, as an outsider, a stressful situation or a stressful job, but for you it would not be. What's interesting is adding in this Pentacles kind of energy here. This takes it in a different direction a little bit. The Four of Pentacles can speak of inheritance or possessions, conservation of resources, being frugal, your savings, just being guarded about things like, oh, is this going to get away from me? The Nine of Pentacles does have a prudent energy to it as well, kind of stalking up here. But it's somebody who's further along on the journey, kind of going from here to here. They've amassed some abundance and wealth. They have more of the feeling of safety. Notice we're sleeping here. There's success and accomplishments, financial independence, and perhaps even luxury. This is hard work paying off. So group 5, that's great. That energy for you is amazing. But again, I also see this as maybe not even you as much. Right now I'm really being drawn to the roots. Like in the earth, but not of the earth. So you're in this energy, but it's not necessarily your energy. This is the energy of other people you're helping. And this is where I'm seeing some different occupations popping in, quite possibly group 5. So some of you might be lawyers, particularly somebody who helps handle like elder law, estates, perhaps a financial planner, somebody who works in the stock market. I even got like a little bit of a risk here, maybe with the sharpness of what's going on here, and then the Wheel of Fortune. Somebody who works maybe with investments. Yeah. And with the Four of Pentacles, giving off this energy, and then we've got that like fiery Eight of Wands here. I do see you helping other people amass resources after something tough has happened. Here's where it's hitting. That's that impact we talked about. And okay, let's see, what are our next steps? What do we need to do next to kind of get you over to here? Perhaps there's been a death for somebody, a loss in the family. You may be straightening out inheritances for other people, counseling others. I do get a sense of satisfaction. You watching your clients or patients go from the Four of Pentacles to the Nine of Pentacles, where they're no longer so worried. Obviously, there's anxiety here. And here we're just completely relaxed. They can rest again peacefully. And you might even be helping folks hook up with jobs. Like you might be a career counselor, which is interesting. And finally, we have an extra layer with 2 major Arcana cards coming, one right with the other. Both birds again, the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune. So the Tower is upheaval and broken pride, disaster, establishments being torn down, the end of an era. And the Wheel of Fortune is just more of that steady Eddie energy that I was talking about earlier. What goes around comes around, changes in cycles, being able to go with the flow. Yeah, so I see you as understanding this deeply and intuitively. So you see the new growth and opportunity after the blazing inferno of a forest fire. You're able to step in and provide people a pillar of strength and guidance and assistance about which steps that they need to take next. Yeah. And this is another group I was called to look at the back of the deck. These are a little bit slippery. Another major Arcana card, and it's death. And yet another bird. So we're surrounded by birds here. And then in the middle, we've got some mammals, which I think is also very interesting. Yeah. So this is associated with Scorpio, by the way, in case you didn't know. So that's that water part that we've kind of been missing, like not seeing here very obviously, the emotions. So that's where that ebb and flow is coming from. This is a part of you and your gentle understanding. So you're somebody who's comfortable with the world's natural cycles, and you do help others through their own sorrows and crises. And again, the birds. All of these cards have birds on them except the central part there, which we associate with your client energies. So you're the messengers here. You help your clients stay grounded and rooted, talking about the roots again, despite what's going on around them. You help them as they transform. Whatever that ending is for them, you are going to be there, thick or thin. And it could be the ending of a job for them. It could be leaving an unfulfilling career, the loss of a loved one, a divorce. You are in an occupation. You're the person that guides from one closed door to the possibilities of open doors. Okay, I'm going to put this over here. These want to slide all over the place. I have a couple other oracle cards just to add an extra little layer in here. I'm pretty sure this is going to be popping off. I'm going to just do this. Okay. All right, Edward Gorey here. We have the bottle. Okay. We have fish. There's some more water for us. Petrified wood and ancestors. I believe there was another group who also had ancestors. I believe it may have also been group 4. So again, you may want to check that one out if you are being drawn that way. There's some similar energy, but it's not quite the same. So with the bottle, I see this, I think it's a little froggy or something that looks like a frog in clear glass. And to me, a frog is a symbol of transformation and hope. You're somebody who can clear the glass off for others to see and show them that hope, that their grief won't be so suffocating in the future. It's not going to be so tight. That container is going to continue to grow bigger and bigger so that they will have more room to breathe and to make room for the new person that they're becoming. You see clearly what's going on and those next steps that need to be taken. And then the fish here is more of that watery emotional energy that we're talking about. And the people that you help may feel lost in life's currents. You may be what brings them back to earth a little bit here. They're not following their own intuition with the moon right here. You might be a wonderful life coach. We didn't talk about that. Or any type of counselor, a light worker, most certainly. This group is definitely comprised of light workers. You are helping to guide others when they don't quite feel fulfilled in life. And the petrified wood. This again is about balance to me. We've got more of that earth energy, some of the water energy, some of the air energy. First, too much water with the fish, and then too much earth energy we had in the middle here. This is loosening up those who are rigidly fixed. Because this has to do with ancestry also, it may be about breaking inherited ethical or moral codes that don't serve your clients. This is you helping people move beyond inheritance, moving out of energies, and moving on from those energies as well. They are not defined by their past. It's the impact of their footprints in the now and the future that matters. So group 5, you're magical, whether you realize that or acknowledge it or not. You have a lot of divine support from the other side. Again, messengers coming in here. So group 5, I'm going to end your reading here. If this resonated with you, please like and comment in the box below about what drew you in. And again, this was pretty unique. So if this wasn't quite for you, maybe check out group 4. Please like and comment again. Let us know what drew you in. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so that you are alerted of when new videos are released. Thanks for watching Group 5, and I look forward to collaborating again with you soon. Bye-bye.